shit, but I kind of like that pseudo sampling shit. I think that's what I'm gonna start calling my style. False sampling with the pseudo. Woo. I like it. Okay, money on my mind. I ain't hard to find. Happy with my mind be. So work on your time.
Alright, what up world? It's me, your boy, SKYGOD Keith Spades, back again with another episode of Greetings, High Conversations. This one is gonna kind of be like a mixture of emotions because there's a lot going on in this video, so we might as well go ahead and pop it off. To get us started, first and foremost, rest in peace to the boy, King Von, you feel me? So as you may have guessed, I am actually a fan of King Von. There's very few artists I will say that I'm a fan of, because most of them just aren't that consistent, you know what I mean? That being said, he was consistent, he was super fire. To be honest with you, I did not hear, the first song I heard of his was Crazy Story, and it was like a couple days before I heard he died, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? But long story short, I'm now officially a fan of King Von. And now my thing is, there's very few artists who can keep my attention musically consistently, right? So there's so much background. It's literally just, why do your breaks sound like that? Why do your breaks sound like that? Yeah, all right. But yeah, like he was just, I love his cadence, you feel me? That, you know what I'm saying? Like, all like that whole, like, that vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard that, I said, man, the boy got something. The boy got something. You feel me? And I just thought that it was just like super dope the way that he told stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who knows my music knows that I'm a storyteller. There's very few of us in the game now, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate that about him. I know in that Crazy Story where he was just like, he said, she built like a horse, bro. I was dying. I said, hell no. Like stuff like that. It's one thing to tell a story. It's another thing to give imagery to really fill that story out. And he really understood, like, you know, the psychology of storytelling, which I appreciate 1,000%. I think that's immaculate, especially for him to be so young, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought, I was like, oh man, he about to blow immediately. Like, that was my first thought. And then, you know what I'm saying? So those are some of the reasons I thought King Von was just an amazing. Those are some of the reasons I thought King Von was an amazing artist. That being said, there's a couple things that I did want to, you know, bring up, especially with his passing. I think we can, okay, so one of the great things about being a great storyteller is that it makes you a very capable teacher. And I think his demise is an extremely teachable moment. I remember seeing one of his interviews. He was talking about how the system messes us up in so many ways, talking about black people. And obviously that's true. Like, anybody who disagrees with that is just crazy at this point. I'm not even about to address that, but like that's definitely true. But that being said, man, as an artist, we have a very rare and sought after position to actually influence the way the system works and the way the system evolves. You know what I mean? And I think that King Von and the things that he spoke about, like the things that he spoke about, gave light to the life that he was living. But I think a big part of what a lot of these younger rappers don't understand, and like I didn't understand it when I was a younger rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand it back then. I understand it now, you know what I mean? But we do have the ability to influence the next generation. And not even like the next generation, but the people who are right after us, or the people who are in the same, you know, situation as us. Because say, right, somebody step on my shoe, right? There's a thousand different ways I can handle that situation. But if somebody steps on my shoe, and I tell you, oh man, he stepped on my shoes, so now I gotta blow you. Feel me? I'm saying like that. When you hear that, now that is it's incentive. It is extra weight. It is more reason for you to up the tool if you were in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? And that influence that we have, we need to be cognizant of it. So as artists, we need to be cognizant of the effect that we have as artists, because at this point, to not keep that in mind is really irresponsible. And as a man, as an adult, like, you have to be accountable for your actions. Like, you cannot just be, making choices and just be like, what the consequences? You feel me? Like, you can't do that, because then there's gonna be consequences that you can't, forego. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's what I wanted to say on the artist side. And like I want people to understand that I'm not using King Von as a villain, even though he did call himself a demon. You feel me? That's not the point. I believe that his death is a tragedy that we can use as an opportunity. And so I just wanted to say, like, as artists, there are repercussions for our actions. There are effects to the steps that we're taking in reality, and we're living in the butterfly effect, and we have to be acknowledging that when we take those actions. And that's all I wanted to say as far as the artist aspect of it. And as far as consumers go, when we listen to music, you know what I mean? Not only do we have to recognize that this person is specifically trying to sell something, so yes, like he very well may, sensationalize, an imagination that he had, or he might sensationalize his real life. Regardless, as artists, we're selling, you know what I'm saying? And so you have to keep that in mind. So to base your life off of, this group of artists that you listen to, that's gonna lead you down a path that you don't necessarily want to go down. Like, you can't follow someone who's not specifically trying to lead you. You know what I mean? And so as consumers, and like I said, I'm a huge fan of, people like King Von and Chief Keef and like all these people who talk about, murder, murder, kill, kill. You feel me? Like, I'm a fan of these people because their music is dope. You feel me? I'm a fan of these people who do talk about, these negative aspects of life. And even in my music, I will, make reference to negative aspects of life. But by the same token, I do have a range. And I'm not saying these other artists don't have range. What I'm saying is, as consumers, we have to keep in mind that even if this person does only talk about, these negative aspects of life, we as consumers cannot focus only on negative aspects of life, especially as Black consumers. Because at the end of the day, we want our position in the world to elevate. I think every Black person in America and probably the rest of the world can agree. You know what I'm saying? And a huge part of the reason that we cannot elevate, or not that we cannot elevate, a huge part of the reason that we have so much farther to elevate as of yet is because the media portrays us a certain way, right? So they're selling also. So they're going to use sensational news to make sure that their numbers are going up. We got to keep in mind the media, the way they portray us, is a direct result of them trying to sell also. So they're going to use that same sensationalism that artists use. They're going to use it to sell what they need to sell to get their numbers up, right? So with that being said, when you have, 11 murders in a week, or, whatever it is, yes, they're going to harp on that. And yes, they're going to, say all the things they're going to say to make people feel some type of way about that. And that's literally, as long as we're in a capitalist society, that has to be that way. So as consumers, and especially as Black consumers, what we need to be doing is making sure that we are bringing light and giving support and providing resources to those artists who do provide the positive aspects of life also, right? So like I said, you definitely want to support as many artists as you feel. If you like the artist, support them. You feel me? 1,000%. But we just have to keep in mind as consumers that one, you cannot follow someone who is not specifically trying to lead you. And two, whenever you are making a choice with your dollar, whenever you're making your choice with your time, whenever you're making a choice with your attention, you're not just choosing for yourself, you're supporting a movement. Whether you see it that way or not, like that's just the way reality works. Like as you know, you support and you tell your friend about this person, that person tells his friend about this person. Like that's how it builds. And so as consumers, we have to, you know, be conscious about our decisions, especially as Black consumers, because our position in the world is, you know, not where we want it to be, you know. With that being said, I didn't want this video to be too long. I really wanted to just say why King Von was the GOAT type thing, or is the GOAT type thing. With that being said, I do want to make sure that, you know, as consumers, we are making decisions that are, you know, elevating our positions, you know. With that being said, I ain't trying to say too much, so Sky got out.
Yeah, but I kind of like that pseudo sampling shit. I think that's what I'm gonna start calling my style. False sampling with the pseudo. Woo. I like it. Okay, money on my mind. I ain't hard to find. I be where my mind be. So work on your time. Yeah.